Hello again, it's Scott from Serenity, Scott Beauty, and today I have Ren Allen, one of my oldest and dearest friends, and one of my favorite makeup artists in the world.
Wow.
At this point, we couldn't live without her, so what we wanted to do is kind of introduce you to the people that we work with, and including ourselves. I'm sure Serenity and I will get our turn in the hot seat, but today we really wanted to introduce you to Ren, and we've devised a series of YouTube-like must-have questions, you know, that focus around who you are and what you're about within sort of the makeup world and the important things. So we want to know about Ren. So I'm going to crack open my little black book here.
Should I be worried now?
No, I think most of these things are either questions that will just roll right off the tip of your tongue. If they stump you, that'll be a good thing because it'll make you think. Because I'm sure it won't be the last time that someone will ask you one of these. So the first question is basically simple, Ren. Who are you?
That's really complicated. So much for simple. Let's see.
The question is simple, the answer may not be.
Well, yeah, exactly. Ren Allen, originally from Alaska, born and raised in Fairbanks. I'm a mother of 5. My partner and I work full-time together. He's a photographer, so, you know, we work and play all over the country together, and that's a new and awesome experience. So, yeah. And run a household and try to be good members of our community.
Tell me who you are as a makeup artist.
Well, I feel like as a makeup artist, I use it as another tool in helping people kind of express what's on the inside. I see it as one of the most malleable and transformative accessories you can have, and I do view it as an accessory just as I would a scarf or a pair of earrings. It's no different than that. We use it to express something, though, hopefully. And that can be really powerful for people. Just as the body paint is another thing that, as you know, I do.
That's what I was hoping you'd get to.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. You know, it's all about giving people tools for expression and for self-healing. And that's what it is to me. And I try to be that kind of channel for them, or that tool to help them do that.
Yes, you are definitely a positive light in the world.
Thank you. Sure. I try.
All right, so that wasn't so painful, right?
We're just getting warmed up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, get the big stuff out of the way.
Yeah, dang.
And the rest should be easy.
Who are you? Like, there's no worrying about that, right?
Exactly.
You could just
Exactly. All right, so question number 2: how did you get your start?
That is a really
especially like as a makeup artist, what was it? Like, how did you?
Well, I wanted to long before I did. And I finally went and applied for a job. It was like in my 30s. And it was post, you know, traumatic kind of existence in life where I went through a marriage failure and some trauma. And then realized like I needed to have something for me that I could support my children with and, you know, do something I enjoyed. And I went and got a job at Estee Lauder.
Oh, nice.
That was my start. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, this leads not to sort of lead you into something, but this is perfect then, because my next question was, and this is sort of depending on, I guess, who is being asked this question. The question may change a little bit, because the question is, how do you know Serenity Scott, or what was that connection, the initial connection?
Right. Yeah, because of course I met Serenity through you.
Right.
And I remember the first time I met you because it was unusual for us to go to Charlotte for training, you know, MAC Cosmetics, and I had a really enjoyable career with them and learned a lot and really enjoyed the training. And we were in Charlotte, and I remember because we got in trouble a lot for talking.
Can you imagine that?
And here we are.
And here we are talking.
Oh my gosh. We kept getting in trouble.
Yes, we did. We were the
I
oldest.
remember.
We were the oldest two there, I think.
Makeup artist in the room, other than maybe Patty, who was also at my counter. We're pretty close in age. But yeah, the oldest. And you had a nickname then. Am I allowed to tell?
I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. Wait, I don't know. The only one
you gave me a card with your nickname on it.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was that. So what
Am I
was
allowed
it?
to tell?
Sure.
It was Scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how I remembered you.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
my
when
childhood
it said Scott later, I was like, what? Oh, that's Scooter.
Yeah, that's
love
funny
it.
because I don't even remember being called by that other
It's
than
been a long time.
as a child. So.
Right.
Yeah, because when I worked for Mac, my nickname was Mac Light.
Yes.
So,
You were just too natural.
yeah. I was offended initially. Like I was really offended by that, and it took me a while to realize not only was that a compliment, but it was a lot more lucrative. You know.
Yeah.
Actually, I could
People
make
love
money at
that.
that.
Yeah. People love it.
So, but it took me a while to sort of embrace that
Right.
nickname. So.
Right.
All right. So, question number 4: what do you love most about makeup?
And that goes back to the transformative qualities. It's temporary. All of the art I do that I love the best is temporary. And it's not there for very long. It wipes off and you can change it up. It can completely change how you feel, how you look, express a number of different things. So the transformative, fleeting quality of it, the temporary quality of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's funny, I like that too, and I remember when we were training how there were so many younger people that were so puffed about, I'm an artist, and I thought, you check that ego because it washes right off.
Yeah. It's only there for a minute.
Yeah, it's only there, but that is one of the
For the
nice
day.
things about it.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the thing with me is how can you can't take it too seriously because
Right.
it isn't permanent.
I always say that we should take our work very seriously and ourselves not so much.
Exactly. I'm working on that.
Try to keep that in check.
Okay. Question number 5, and you did get a hint of this, I will say off camera, this is the only question she knew about. And that question was, who is your style icon?
And there's so many that are just a fabulous influence, but if I were just to go on modern times, somebody that I just adore the snot out of is RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
And again, back to the transformative qualities. RuPaul is a master of transformation and does it beautifully as male or female.
Mm-hmm.
So elegant, so refined, so fun and sassy. I mean, how can you not just love someone who can express?
Yeah, it's
In that
funny,
manner.
when you listen to him, you know he's been around.
Yeah.
And then he knows what he's talking
And
about.
it's sassy, but with that elegance too.
Well, and
Not
with
many
love
people
too.
can pull that.
There's either love
Absolutely.
or support or acceptance.
Compassion.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people that is part of the inspiration from him is it's not only his creativity and his beauty, but it's also the internal beauty.
Absolutely.
And the desire to help.
Absolutely.
Even
yes.
in a tough love sort of way sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, but authenticity and rawness is beautiful too.
Yeah.
And he being, as you know, the very first spokesmodel for the Mac
Edgy.
AIDS Fund, that was edgy and wonderful, and that comes into the compassion part, so I've always had a thing for Rue.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, and he's from San Diego.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
So there's your roots.
All right, so on to the next question. So this is a little cliche, but I mean, which one hasn't been so far? So this is more that the desert island question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We all talk about that in the industry.
Give me your top 3 desert island must-haves.
So
And regardless of whether they melt, there's no issue of the heat.
doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist in
On
our
an
desert
island, in the tropics.
Any top 3 makeup.
Absolutely, the little travel powder brush, Serenity Scott powder brush, because I can do my whole face with that one brush, and then probably the powder, the Serenity Scott
That's
powder.
one of my favorites.
Definitely, I can use that as concealer, and the mascara. I mean, you gotta have some mascara.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree with all of those. All right, I'll give you one more because to me the powder and the brush could go together.
They do.
We'll let
that's
that.
one
so
item, right?
one, so that would be one item because
So-
you can't use one without the other.
And then it's like, well, I have my desert island eye brush, but I'd have to have some product with it. So
Yeah, there you
that's
go,
not
you're right.
fair, right?
Yeah.
If it were a desert island eye brush, it would be the little, I forget the numbers already, but the little short fluff brush. Shorter one.
Number
not the
one?
crisp-
Oh
Probably.
no, either number 1 or number 6. The
And then
fluff
use it for
crease.
concealer.
Oh, that's our number 1.
Yeah,
That's,
number 1.
Mhm.
That's the all-purpose.
That's sort of like
it can
a
do
MAC wannabe
anything.
217.
Yeah, it wants to be 217, but it's actually softer.
Well, it's
I love
you know
it.
why it's vegan.
Yeah,
So
no
now,
cruelty.
yeah, exactly, cruelty free, and it is softer.
Yeah, I could do.
That's my
Anything
favorite.
with
That
that.
we created that because I loved
Yeah.
MAC 217 brushes.
I know.
Couldn't live without it.
You should
so-
see how many of that number one I have, though. It's
Oh,
ridiculous
me
because I
too.
use it for everything.
Yep. Give me the most embarrassing makeup look you've ever rocked.
Oh, Lord. Rocked?
Well,
Like,
or not.
on myself or on...
Well, for me, it would have to be on someone else, unless it was
Oh.
just bad glitter or something. On
No, I kind of did bad makeup, actually. I was just new. I was just really new. Because I had worked for Lauder and then I went to work for MAC and I'd only had a few months of training, so I hadn't had years and years behind me yet to really figure out stylized looks and a lot of the stuff that you learn over time. And a performer was coming for the Gay Pride weekend. There's a big Gay Pride weekend in Pensacola, and it's on Memorial Day weekend, and her name's Christine W. She's out of
Oh, I know
Vegas.
Christine.
Okay, she's
Everybody knows
fabulous.
Christine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's fabulous. Love her. Thank goodness she was so wonderful because I didn't know how to do the Egyptian eyeliner correctly, and she basically told me. So I got to fix that.
Okay, she's now our gel eyeliner expert, everyone. You'll be seeing.
I learned a few things in the last decade, thank God.
Yeah.
But you know, and she was very sweet and very gracious as I screwed up and fixed it. And you know, we got it worked out, but she wanted really dramatic and I went really dramatic. And when I look at the pictures later, I'm like, you know, that was a little too dramatic, maybe.
Well, maybe that also references that RuPaul is my style icon.
Well, you know, I have a little inner drag queen that wants to get out,
Who
and you know,
doesn't?
I did some crazy makeup on her, and it was not my best makeup, but you know, she rocked the stage, and I stayed and got to watch the performance. It was pretty darn fabulous.
I can imagine.
So,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
imagine.
I'm sure the other performers were like, oh, thank God she didn't do my makeup.
So, the next question is, what's your specialty? What do you feel like you do the best?
Wow, well, I feel like I'm an eternal student in so many ways.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm always learning and always trying to remain a student. But I am pretty good at some editorial liner, which probably goes back to the body painting thing. You know, it's
Oh, yeah,
all
of
about
course.
line work,
Yeah.
trying to improve it, trying
Yeah.
to do better at that. I can rock some editorial liner. And I honestly always believe color is my strength. I see color really well, and I see what goes together really well, and I know color theory, I teach color theory, and I'm good at blending colors to get an exact match. I can look at someone's skin and go straight to my foundations, be it airbrush or hand applied, and I know what's gonna match them. And very few times do I ever really have to double check that now. And that's just learning color, learning nuances, little subtle differences between a peach and a peachy beige
Yeah.
and something with a little more pink. I know that one drop of this is going to tweak that perfectly.
It's so funny because when we really started working on eyeshadow colors, you know, you're trying to paring down, this is the essential makeup artist kit.
Right.
And, you know, look at how many nudes we have and how many browns, you know, like,
Yeah.
because artists know the nuance. They know there's a
Yes.
little too much yellow here, I need a little more peach
I
in
need
this.
a little more of this, yeah. Just that
So
little
it's funny
touch
because you're like,
different.
oh, I want another 9 colors. you know?
Yeah. And you're always gonna get, with eyeshadows especially, I feel like you need that exact color. You shouldn't blend
Right.
to create a color most of the time
Right.
because you're never gonna replicate it perfectly.
Yep.
So yeah, you wanna have those favorites.
All right, so in that case, then let's end with, we should end on an up note, but this is, you know, one of those funny, like, I have a pet peeve in the industry with photographers. So the question.
Do tell.
Do you want to know what it is? before
Yeah,
I get
I'm
the
gonna have
question?
to talk to Keith about
Okay,
this.
well, you know what, this would be perfect. You ask Keith, because this drives me crazy. You show up, you're a makeup artist, you show up on set, and this is for print. It's
Right,
necessarily
okay.
more, but sometimes for film as well. You're there, crack of dawn, and you know, you're there all day, and the key person, your lead actor or actress is there, or the model, and you do their makeup, and it's flawless, and it's perfect, and it's fresh, and they send them out to do all of this, and you go through lunch, and you touch up, and you do all this stuff. Finally, everybody's exhausted, you know, if it's hot or sweaty or allergies or something, and then at the very last minute, it's time to do close-ups.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
Okay, could we do the close-ups when
First.
she's fresh and beautiful and the makeup is perfect? Not at the end of the day, you know, like,
Yeah.
who wrote this? Who scheduled this? You know?
Not the makeup artist.
No, never. If we were there, you know, all the best,
Be right
all
now.
the tight shots would be like right now.
Yeah.
Like, get that lip while it's perfect, you know, like
Nobody's
the red
touched
lip.
it. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's not wait until after lunch.
Yeah.
So now that you know that, what's your most annoying
Oh,
like
wow.
pet peeve for the job? Like, what do they ask you for that you're like, really?
Well, you know, there's always something every year where I'm like, well, I hadn't thought of that. So one of my pet peeves is people not communicating ahead of time, their expectations perhaps. So I think I'm going into a wedding to do makeup, and they suddenly want a tattoo cover.
Oh yeah, I get that all
Not
the time.
realizing that
Yeah.
tattoo cover is
It's
a
a
whole
toll.
different price. It's a whole different, you know, it's gonna take some time. I don't have an hour to dedicate to covering this thing. You should have talked to me about that.
Yeah.
So just communicating with your makeup artist ahead of time about expectations and or unusual, you know, I had one wedding where we had everything scheduled, and if she thought maybe that we might add 2 or 3 people, and I said, just make sure you let me know that week because my arrival time will need to be earlier, blah, blah, blah.
Or I'll need an extra person
Yeah,
or something.
didn't get a phone call that there would be 3 extra people. When I got to the location, everybody was 45 minutes late.
Of course.
Yeah, and then when I ran over, because I absolutely had not enough time, everybody was annoyed that I wasn't done with makeup yet. There's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah. And
I'm
see,
like,
it's funny
really?
because I've gotten so used to that, that doesn't bother me as much.
That's good, because it still bothers
Because
me.
you know, well, because you know what it is like, you know, on that day, no one's running on time.
They're and that doesn't bother me so much.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, things get
No.
chaotic at weddings. You gotta really go with the flow.
You do.
If you love wedding work, definitely go with the flow. But don't throw 3 extra people at me and expect to be done on time, sweetie. It doesn't happen often because well, you learn.
You do?
You learn. Talk to them.
But you know, don't you think
Call.
that sometimes those make you a better artist?
Absolutely.
Because you work under pressure.
Yes.
You know, like I did a
Get
commercial.
fast.
Well, you know, remember we saw each other at Biltmore one day when I was shooting a commercial for them.
Yes.
So get this. So we're there, and they've given me the lineup, and it's I don't know, like 8 talents. You know, there's like 8 actors there. And then halfway through, I swear this is true. Halfway through, they bring in a choir of 25 pimply-faced
Oh my
teenagers
gosh.
and said, "We need you to do their makeup in 15 minutes because they're on." Like, what? It was
Let me
just-
get a cart
It was just me
detailer out.
by myself. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
But
do you do? You know?
You
I've
do
had
your
that
best.
happen on commercial
you
shoots
you
too.
do your best, and
Yeah.
you know if they want more. The thing I've always learned too is you know you never wait on makeup, so you do your best and get them out there. And if somebody stands out, they'll let you know,
They'll
and you
say
get the
touch up.
extra
Yeah.
time. But you aren't getting that extra time until
No.
they see it. But
Absolutely. Yeah, little powder goes a long ways.
heck yeah, especially that Serenity Scott.
Yeah, I'm like, yay,
Powder
foundation.
foundation, yeah.
You're done. Go.
Well, if you liked this, let us know. We've got a few other people that we work with that I'm sure you might be interested in learning more about. So let me know if this was worth the watch. And if it was, definitely like us. And if you're not, subscribe. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Mwah.